We come to you live today from the Mie Prefecture in the south of Japan's Honshu Island for a race that has seen many title deciders over the years. Some simple, some controversial, but all contributing to a legacy that makes the Japanese Grand Prix an indispensable stop in any Formula One season. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at a wet and windy Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with Sector 1 likely to prove especially difficult in these conditions. We should see overtaking into turns 1 and 16 today, and maybe a few Kobayashi-style dives into the hairpin as well. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? They come into this race with a healthy championship lead. I don't want to say the title race is over, but surely it's going to take something special or catastrophic to change the outcome at this point.
Certainly there are worse positions to be in, but it's vital to don't let complacency creep in. As soon as you let yourself think it's over before it actually is, that's where everything can and often will go wrong.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Ocon, Lance Stroll, and Kvyat, Albon, Norris, Ricciardo and Gardner, Bottas, Gasly, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, Sainz, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen and Giuliano Alesi, Grosjean, Matsushita, De Vries and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track.
We're still in with a chance of winning the title. We need you to push as hard as you can in the 5 remaining races.
Welcome to another JDM racing video for F1 2020. It's my team again, and this time we're at Japan, Suzuka racing circuit. We're 10th on the grid. Had a bit of a rough qualifying. It was a bit mixed conditions. Couldn't really get the car settled in Q3. Max Verstappen actually mistimed his run in Q2. It was kind of like what I would call Jensen Button conditions. Like it was a damp track, raining lightly, but it wasn't quite wet enough for intermediates. So, and that was pretty much sprinkled through all the 3 sessions. Q1 we were actually right up there, a 10th behind Verstappen, so we qualified 2nd in that session. And then in Q2 we scraped through in 7th and 8th, myself and George, and that was after the first run, and then the track got too wet, and then the same in Q3, the track got too wet. So I kind of made a couple of errors because that was my banker lap for the 10th place, and that was 3/10 slower than 9th, and I thought, right, well, I'll try and get back round and have another go on some softs, and it was too wet by that point. I was slipping and sliding off the track everywhere, so I just abandoned the run and just had to start 10th. So we're pretty much going to go on Inters unless the weather changes towards the end. I don't think we're going to change off these tyres. Fuel load should be fine. I think we've just got to watch Max really behind us. Lewis is going to try and scamper off into the front and make as much out of Max's displacement as possible. We've got to try and stop him coming through and try and get up with George and try and get a podium if we can. We'll see. The car's been a bit mixed, so let's do it. Yeah, good getaway. A little bit of initial wheel spin, but a little bit of a bump there with the McLaren. We'll try and get up the inside of Norris, we do. The temptation is to put the foot in there. front wing.
That's a decent start. Good job.
We'll chuck one at the inside here though, on the Alpha Tauri. Tauri? A little bit of boost. Up to 7th then. Quick check behind, and just drop back a little bit. Give it a bit of ERS down the back straight. Bit of a lift in there in wet conditions. To the chicane. Thank you. DRS again. Car feels good. Just gotta try not to push it too hard. So there's a little bit of blue sky through those clouds. So the weather could break and change. Switch back, the Renault tries it, we're going to outpower him down this back straight to spoon curve. No DRS obviously. Just going to boost away from him with DRS so he can't get the slipstream. Slight lift in there. On the brakes a little bit earlier. And we'll go ERS again. Purple last sector, that was good. Just dabbed a foot on the brake there. And the nose went light in front. From a long way back, I almost thought about diving down the inside then. But against it. We are closer this time though. Going into spoon. Section.
Fuel target is +1. Faster engine modes are available.
One up the inside into the chicane, we make it work. Like we were patient with that one. Gonna go rich now as we hunt down Perez. George is nearly 4 seconds up the road now. What about another dive? We thought against it.
Okay, the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap. 5/10.
Back to standard. feel like we're a lot better on the brakes in that hairpin. We can get close to him. I think we'll take him there. Just reminds me of the battles in JDM we used to have, me and Perez. Except now he doesn't, well, he didn't move over anyway. When he did drive through, for us, I was going to say for me.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
We sit on the apex. We got him. See how quickly we can pull away from him now. He's got pushed back into Stroll a little bit. The other sector's purple. So, I reckon we could be on for a faster lap. Do indeed post a fastest lap. There you go. Robert, tyre percentages. I know you asked it in the last video. So 28%. Not too bad considering that we're most of the way through.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, gap ahead is 4.4 seconds.
Fastest lap by a couple of thousandths.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
I think unless George makes a mistake, or Lewis, or come into mechanical gremlins, I think this is pretty much us set now.
Careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
Yep, you think so? Oh, 38%, I think it said. Yeah, 38, 30 on the front, 36 on the back. A little bit more cautious in the long corners. We've got 7 seconds back to Perez. We've dropped back. Yeah, we've lost about a second there to George. With that having that slight off. So I think we just settle for 3rd at this point. Oh, Lewis. trying to nab that extra point for the title fight. So he takes the fastest lap off us. Here we go then. Coming down the back straight. 130 out. Into Hamilton. Wow, into the, I was going to say into the chicane. Hamilton sets another fastest lap. He wins to take the fight to Verstappen. We come home third.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well
Thanks,
done.
Jeff. Not bad from 10th. Had to pick our spots.
Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. So let's review the updated driver standings. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Gardner. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern day Formula One.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So there you go. You heard it from Crofty's mouth. Mercedes are the Constructors' champions for this second season of our career as a team owner. We are a comfortable amount of points ahead of Red Bull, but we need to keep the fight going in order to lock that down and get the prize money that comes with second place. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Daniel Ricciardo moves up above Carlos Sainz, and George Russell moves up to 9th place with his second. And Max, he didn't have a great race. I thought he was going to come through the field, but I guess the weather was too unpredictable. He couldn't pick his way past. If it had been dry, might have been a different story. But Lewis taking full advantage with the 26 points, 25 for the win with an extra point for fastest lap. He gets the hat-trick too with the pole as well. So in actual fact, he's closed the gap down to 61 points with 4 races to go. So he's still in with a shout. He's pulled away from us in 3rd with that race win, with us only getting 3rd place. So we're consolidating that 3rd place in the drivers, but Mercedes is so good. It's difficult to keep up with them every single race. I know we've had a race win run of about 4 now, but it was bound to come to a halt at some point. I think qualifying was what did it for us, but Lewis was on extreme form this weekend, so congrats to him. Let's check the highlights. There's probably going to be some good ones in here. think Perez got a very good getaway. George got him off the start there, look. The bottom of the screen. We just had a little, we got a little bit argy-bargy with the Red Bull, and then just got our elbows out with Lando a little bit. Make sure we stayed in front of him. And then we just kind of very calmly and patiently picked our way through. Perez was the only one that really caused us a lot of problems. So we went pretty deep to make sure we made the corner. And then nearly got done on the switchback. This was a nice one into the chicane, I think. Yeah. Nice move on the AlphaTauri. Tauri. And then that was the time we didn't actually take any damage, but we just gave him a little nerf on the rear wing. Perez there. Little slow motion shot as well. Do you like those? And then again, just us following Sergio. Quite a defensive driver too, so even on the game. To send one. It was clean. But yeah, it was right on the edge of grip there. I could have quite easily just thrown it off the road at that point. Quite a tricky one to get done that. We come in third. So, the only other thing left to mention, we'll have a quick look down the bottom here. So everybody finished the race, so car attrition was quite good. Ferrari, I mean, Perez had a good race, but Leclerc was nowhere. So a solid fourth for Perez in the Ferrari. Lance Stroll and Albon. Strong weekend, yeah, for AlphaTauri, as they said in commentary. Renault had a good weekend too, but Red Bull, just with the 1 point for Ricciardo, they had a terrible weekend. The Sainz was down in 15th, so yeah, the only other thing worth mentioning is that we've got Lewis Hamilton as a rival now, because I thought it would be too easy to go after some. I think there was like maybe some Red Bull or Renault drivers. I thought we'll just go for Lewis because it had quite a good payout if we managed to beat him consistently on the acclaim points. And we need those to get to level 20 to get the extra slot for the sponsors. So I figured, well, we'll go for something a little bit risky rather than the safe option. We've got $11 million in the bank, which I'm going to save a little bit of for driver wages, because I want to make sure we get a good driver when the season finishes. Whether that be retaining Russell or whether that be getting somebody else, who knows. But when we started this weekend, there was the announcement that there were going to be regulation changes, and we're basically going to lose the whole of the engine section and also the chassis section. So I'll show you. So I'm just going to go through the menus. I'm going to cut it here and then I'll come back in a second. Bear with me and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So the regulation change is coming to force at the start of next season, making existing upgrades obsolete in their current state. Such upgrades can be adapted at 50% purchase cost to make them legal for next season's regulations. All currently fitted upgrades will remain active on the car for the remainder of this season, but any non-adapted upgrades will be lost beyond that point. So basically, any upgrades that we've got on the car right now will stay on the car until we hit Season 3. The ones in grey are ones that I've actually spent some of our R&D points on to protect. So these will remain with us into Season 3 because we've got the best engine. Chassis, we're up there, but we're not the best. So what we'll need to do, I think, is probably try and recoup as much of the engine as possible, because I think the engine is important. And then whatever points we've got left over, we try and get protect as much of this chassis tree as we can as well. But we're going to take a hit. It's basically gutted 2 departments, so we're gonna have to make a choice one way or the other. So I've gone for the power unit, and we're gonna protect that because I'm figuring, like, having no straight line speed, as we saw with McLaren in those years with Honda, it's gonna just absolutely kill us. So I think we can deal with the chassis being a little bit worse for a bit while we try and recoup the points. But the engine will absolutely kill us if we don't protect that. So that's basically what's happened from the R&D regulation change side of things. Facilities are looking okay. We've upgraded all of them to 2. Gone and put some of these sponsor days and things in to try and boost some of the team stats and that kind of thing.
Our new parts have been completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Alright. So we got some R&D parts that were successful. We've got some more parts that we can add here, so I think we can protect, like, these pieces here. This piece here. So that protects the root of that tree, so we just need to do the side parts now. These are going to be 500 each, I think. So yeah. But it's a rough one for sure. Here's our power units. So we've got 48, 41, 39, 46, 45, and 23. So in terms of wear rates and things, we're looking okay for the units that we changed back. I think it was prior to Silverstone. But if we check our season results, you can kind of tell when we got, like, new engine parts. That was around Silverstone, I think, or just after, and you can see, like, we've had a really good run of results since then. And also, if you check the progress history, you can also see on this graph, around the time that we got some of those upgrades, where we started the season, we were in the, like, really in the lower to mid pack, and quite a way adrift. And then as we get up towards maybe like Austria, Azerbaijan, we start really ramping up the upgrades and coming up through the mid pack, and now we're a clear second on development. So this is why our performance advantage has been so strong, and why we've started getting these race wins. It's because we've got the Mercedes kind of on the, I wouldn't say on the back foot, but we're definitely up with them in terms of being a clear second best car. So if they have a slightly off day, we can definitely capitalise now, whereas before it was a lot more difficult for us to break through the mid-pack, the midfield. So that gives you a little bit of more behind the scenes. We still need level 20 acclaim. We're at 18, you can see at the top of the screen. We need 20 for this fourth sponsor. I just auto-renewed these sponsors. And I'm probably going to need to go and fit all the decals back on the car, because I forget to do that when the sponsors are renewed. But yeah, we're basically... so that's our rivalry with Lewis. He's having a good run right now, so we're struggling a little bit against him, but we'll try and do our best. So we've got 5 fastest laps, 3 pole positions, 6 race wins, 11 podiums, and an average finish of 7th with 362 total points in our career. So we're doing pretty good. Pretty happy with the way the team is going and my own personal career. So with that said, I will leave it there, and we will move on to Circuit of the Americas for the USA Grand Prix. I have a feeling that we're going to go well there. It's a track I like. It's sometimes difficult to get right, but it's quite a technical track. But yeah, I think we've definitely got the car this year to go and push Mercedes as well. They've won the title now, so now it's just keeping an eye on the Max and Lewis title fight, and also trying to throw a spanner in the works and mix it up, getting George and myself in there and mixing it up with those two, and trying to stay in front of Red Bull. So with that said, if you liked the video, please subscribe if you haven't already, like if you enjoyed it, and also just take care. Just be your best self. Look after you and those around you. And as always, I will see you in the next video, and thanks for watching. See you next time, guys. Bye.